Welcome to the Easy Peasy Life Podcast. I'm your host, Poppy Lee, and this is the space for midlife women who are tired of feeling overwhelmed and ready for life to feel lighter, calmer, and more joyful again. Each week, we'll talk about simple habits, mindset resets, and easy tools that help you feel more in control, one small step at a time. If you're ready for peace, clarity, and your comeback season, you're in the right place. Let's make life, well, easy peasy. Hello, guys. Good morning, and welcome back to the Easy Peasy Life Podcast. I am your girl, Poppy Lee, and I'm super excited to have you on here today. Welcome. We're diving in today into something that every single woman needs to hear. So welcome back. First of all, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm a motivational podcast that comes on Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, unless I'm out of town, and then it's 9-ish, more or less. So welcome. I'm from a little punk town called Dripping Springs outside of West Austin. If you continue west, you're going to hit Johnson City. And if you continue west further, you're going to hit Fredericksburg, Texas, the home of over 200 wineries and breweries in the local area. And if you're a fellow wine drinker like I am, cheers to wine and cheers to good coffee. So welcome. My motto of the day is each day you have a choice, whether to be happy or sad. It's up to you to find the positivity in life, and I hope that I inspire you every single day to do that when you start off your day. If you know someone who could benefit from listening, please share this podcast so you can brighten up their day as well. So welcome. And as always, my mission statement is I will empower women in their midlife to recognize their inner and outer beauty, fostering personal growth and self-confidence every single day of their lives. Guys, this podcast is for every midlife woman, right? Who has ever felt overwhelmed, tired, invisible, unappreciated, stretched out so thin to where she can't even do anything for herself because she's doing things for everybody else, or like the best parts of her life are stretched out so thin that somehow she feels like the best parts of her are behind her, right? You feel like the best parts of you are just behind you and you don't know what to do. You're like, where am I? Where did I go? What's going on, right? So if you've ever wondered, is this for me? And is this all my life's going to be? Girl, absolutely not. Your life is so much further ahead of you, and your life is going to be in 2026. This is going to be your year, and I have faith in you. Faith in you that this is going to be the best version of you, and you are going to find yourself. So your story is still unfolding, and today's episode is going to remind you that you of the best way possible is coming this year. And hey, make sure you stay till the end because I have something to share that is going to completely blow your mind like a tip of the trade, right? And probably make you look at yourself a little bit differently. So that's more important. So today's episode is going to be called the Midlife Glow Up, Rewriting Your Story at Any Age. So no matter what age you are, you're going to be able to rewrite your story, and especially in midlife. So let's get started on this. So welcome. So let's start out like we usually do, which is the quote of the day. Okay, so quote of the day says, you are not too old and it is not too late for you. Let me say that one more time for the woman who rolled her eyes because she has exhausted herself. You're not too old and it's not too late for you. You've got this. So, isn't it wild how we tell our kids, you can do anything. You can do anything in your life, right? You can do it all. You can have goals. You can move forward. You can get a college degree. You can graduate. You can do everything. But we tell ourselves, that ship has sailed for me. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it for myself. We tell that to everybody, right? We tell everybody, hey, you can do that. You can do it. We're like the pump up mom, the cheerleader that we were in high school or middle school. And we're like, you can do it. But then all of a sudden when it comes to ourselves, we're like, it's too late. It's too late. Who has told us that? Who told us that it's not too late? who lied to us, right? Do we tell ourselves that, or did somebody else tell us, hey, the older we get, the worse it gets, the less goals you have? Like, who's telling us that? Who's lying to us? Because every woman I know who's 50, 60, 70 plus or more, they have more wisdom. They have more potential, more clarity, more strength, and honestly, more personality. I have more personality there now than I ever did when I was in my 20s, right? Raise your hand in the comments if you're like, amen, Poppy. I feel like I have more wisdom, more challenge in my gut. I've done more things. I have more wisdom, more knowledge and everything. And I can really tackle on now. But I guess because of midlife and menopause, we're like, let me step back a minute. Let me face reality. This may not be something that I can do. So you're not declining. What you're doing is you're refining. Like when you sharpen a knife, you're actually refining yourself, right? You're making yourself better. We're not fading, we're unfolding, we're refining, we're sharpening ourselves to become the best version of ourselves. This is called glow up. That's what this episode is about. So let me tell you the moment I realized midlife is not a crisis. It's a comeback season for you and for me. I was standing in my bathroom one morning and I was staring at myself in the mirror like, who is she? So there I am in the bathroom, right? And I'm like when we were teenagers or when we were in our 20s, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, in our 20s, we're like, oh, we're getting a spot here or we're getting a little bit of wrinkle here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my 20s, I should have been like, oh, my skin is amazing. It's beautiful. Because then you look back at your 20s and you're like, oh my God, my skin was amazing. And now you're like, okay, I have some, and now but anyway, I'm like, I have brown spots here. I have some wrinkles here. But now what we look at is I have experience spots. I have some experience wrinkles. Like I got that when I had my baby at 27. And then I had that, right? We look at everything as an experience now, not like something that's damaging, or that's the way we should it. So the other day when I was looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, who is she? Like, where did this person come from? I'm not sure. Who is she? And why does she look tired in certain places I didn't know could look tired? Like today, I was like, I need to put on mascara. How many of you put a yes in the comments where if you don't feel like you're not all put together, like today, I had to put extra under eye concealer, right? Because yesterday I spent the whole time with my family, y'all, between 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 9 o'clock in the evening. Now, give me a little bit of credit. That was a lot of hours and a lot of food. And I'll tell you what we did in a minute, but it was a lot of food. I managed to drink a whole bottle of wine. Now, it was really good wine. But during midpoint, now actually when it was like at a third, Rick and we were all doing White Elephant and stuff in the living room. And I went in there and I poured a little bit more glass of wine and I looked and I was like, oh. So one of those things where you're like, who drank my bottle of wine? And I look around and I'm like, and I went to Rick. I literally went to Rick and I was like, babe, has anybody else been drinking my wine? I was like, and he's like, no. He said, Bo went over there and looked at the wine like that, like just interesting. Because Bo's like more, he looks at things and he's like, that's interesting. Because it was like a mixture of Syrah. Of course, Jerry said Shira, but I was like, it's Syrah. So Syrah, Malbec, Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon. It was a mixture of like 5 different ones. It was so amazingly good, I have to say, obviously, because I drank the whole bottle. But I will tell you, I was like, did I drink? Am I drinking? Of course, I kept on drinking it. But give me credit. 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. So about 6 hours, I drank a whole bottle of wine. But I also had, so what our family did this year at the Shira Christmas, we actually had, and I think if y'all go back to my stories, you can see the videos and stuff too. But what we decided to do, and it was a great idea from my sister Amy, said, what you need to do, what we can do this year is we'll do a competition. Everybody come up with appetizers, right? So there's like 20 some odd of us. So everybody come up with appetizers, but you have to, there's 24. So everybody makes 24 appetizers. Of course, I had to make 24 for me and 24 for Rick, although he did help, and so did my mother-in-law, and they were amazing. We made the best, y'all, oh my gosh. So we made these dates, and of course I went to ChatGPT and got the recipes. I'm not stupid. And ChatGPT even, get this, so I'm gonna throw this in. ChatGPT even, I put, can you give me simple appetizer recipes that are like drop dead amazing so I can win a competition? And probably y'all have heard of these appetizers. But I went to ChatGPT and it gave me like a whole recipe, but it also gave me a list of things that I can buy at H-E-B on McCall and Freddie Gonzalez. And it even told me what aisles to go to. So if I was in the produce, I'd get the dates and then this and this and this. It was incredible. Like it told me if you're in the produce, go to the produce first. Like when you walk into H-E-B, it tells me, go to the produce, get this. Then when you go to the frozen aisle, get the pastry sheets. When you go to here, amazing. EasyPeasyPrompts.com. Go to EasyPeasyPrompts.com and get my free guide. It's amazing. Anyway, so it was, guess what I made? So it was incredible. I went and I made bacon, what was it? Bacon wrapped dates. What it had was we would cut the dates, open them up, put cream cheese in there, close them back up, and surround it with bacon. Oh my God. It was so good. And even if you ask ChatGPT, it'll tell you how much it's going to cost. But anyway, I had to do it, so it didn't matter. I made those 24 of those. So good. And then, of course, Rick had to drizzle honey when it came out of the oven. We probably could have let go of the honey because it was almost too sweet. You know, you love that. My mouth's watering. You love that yum factor where it's sweet with the date, but then creamy cheese inside, but then bacon surround it. So it's like sweet and salty. Oh my God, it was so good. So like just scratch the honey. You really didn't need honey. And that was optional anyway, but it was so good. And then, so that was what Rick made, right? What he made. So then I made, pastry. And I'd never done this. So of course, ChatGPT said, get pastry sheets in the frozen aisle, make sure they're thawed out, and then cut them into 24 or 25, I think it's 24 little squares. And then normally you put them in a muffin pan, but we didn't have a muffin pan. So we turned up the corners, which made it look like this, kind of really cute. Then you cut cubed brie, stuck in the middle, brie cheese, stuck it in the middle. And then you got the whole cranberry jelly sauce, but with whole cranberries in there too. And you put a blob of the cranberry, like a teaspoon of cranberry on top. And you baked them. And it only took like 15 minutes. And then when you're done baking them, you let them sit out on a rack for like 5 minutes. And then you sprinkled fresh rosemary and cut up pecans. Gosh, y'all, it was so good. I took 3 gluten cutter pills yesterday and I was able to eat everything. But I didn't eat everything. It's just like you had a whole bunch. Anyway, when we did that yesterday, so we had a competition. Of course, I didn't win. And let me tell you what won, which was the most amazing thing. What won with these amazing, beautiful, Isa made them and Jonas made them, olives. These green olives that they stuffed with some fancy kind of cheese that they made. That ended up winning. But let me tell you, it was amazing. It was worth it. We had and you're thinking everybody made appetizers. They only made 24. There's like 30 of us there. Y'all, we had so much food left over. Let me tell you, that's a good thing for y'all to do. Everybody bring their own appetizers. We put them all together. There was so much food. And everybody was only allowed to get one appetizer. But think about it. On my plate, which was this huge, it was huge, I had 24 different appetizers. Y'all, nobody could finish their plate. So we were like, we were wondering, we were like, well, you know, if everybody's concerned and we're still hungry after that, we can always order pizza. That wasn't even, And that's because afterwards we had desserts too. Amy got a huge, big one of those American cookie cakes kind of thing. It was so good. And then pecan pie and some brownies and stuff like that. Those hardly got touched because we had sweet and sour and savory and all kinds of stuff with the appetizers. It was like the most amazing time. We had so much fun. Y'all, but I will tell you, it's interesting how everything changes and evolves. Our family dynamic is actually changing. We had my mom pass away this year, which was really, really difficult. But the amazing thing is it's crazy because you have to embrace life. Like Christmas is all about embracing life and the people that you love and everything. And so my mom passed, but then all of a sudden we have all this new generation. So like yesterday, normally we like literally play like 4 hours worth of games. Well, yesterday my sister had made one of her living rooms into like with gates and everything. We had, I kid you not. So Aisa's having a baby on Friday. They're going to induce her on Friday. She has Shia, who is 2 years old. So then we have Gabe and Jenny, who just had, they have Will. And then Eli is like 5 weeks old. I could get this wrong. No, I think he's 6 weeks old. So then we have Preston and Sienna, who have their little baby, who is 5 weeks old, Cruz. So we have babies galore. And it was amazing because she had all this little area. And then we have Gigi, Zach and Gabby's Gigi, who is little too. She's over a year. She just turned over a year old. And then she's pregnant. So I'm like, okay, who's pregnant around here? Not me. That factory's closed. But who else is pregnant around here? So Aisa's pregnant due Friday. And Gabby's pregnant due sometime in the spring. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, all these people are having babies. So we couldn't play games. We did play games, but we played games with the babies. So they're all little. So we literally have probably, I don't even lost count, 5 or 6 kids under the age of 2. And so we're all chasing. I'm holding on to Eli, and then I'm holding on to Cruz, and then I'm playing with Gigi, and then I'm playing with Shia and Will, and everybody's chasing everybody. It was amazing. But y'all, I mean, I think that's what makes life happy during the holiday season, because the most important thing is for you to embrace and spend time with family, right? And as much as I love my mom and I miss my mom, it's so interesting and wonderful to just see the new generation come up with all these little babies and stuff too. And poor Tristan yesterday was like, he told Rick, he was having I hope he doesn't get mad at me, but he was having a conversation with Rick yesterday, and he was like, everybody's married and everybody's having kids. Should I like hurry up and find somebody? And Rick was like, no, you're good. Like, just take your time, be picky. Don't worry about it. Like, everything's good. Like, and he's like, just wait, take your time. But it's crazy how just enjoy and embrace everything. So during this holiday season, what I encourage you to do is don't worry about like presents and things like that. I know it sounds cliche, but the most important thing you can do is spend so much time with family and the new generation that's coming up. For those of y'all who are in midlife like I am, like you have kids that are either older, most of us are empty nesters, but we do have kids now that are starting to look for a significant other, or they're already married, or they're having little babies, and whether you don't have any kids yourself, and enjoy your nieces and nephews if you do have them, because that's important too. Or even if your neighbors have little babies, it's really, really important for you to just embrace the love and the newness of it all.
If you're ready for simple ChatGPT prompts that make life easier, grab my free guide at easypeasyprompts.com/busywoman's guide. It only takes a minute, and it's made for busy women who want quick wins and less overwhelm.
So anyway, I knew I was going to go off on a tangent. But what I was talking about earlier is when I was looking in the mirror in the bathroom and wondering who I am. But I think being surrounded with family and everything allows me to understand that the importance is not me and how much older I'm getting, but who I surround myself with and spend the most time with is the most important. So when I was looking in the mirror, I was tugging at my hair, kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm like, I always feel like it's flat, fixing my hair, sucking in my stomach. I'm always doing that. Even though I'm working out now, I have this flab I know you're going to laugh, but I have this flab that's hanging here that's like, it's not necessarily fat, it's skin because I've stretched it out so much because for some reason in midlife, we're not able to get rid of our, I call them saddlebags or love handles. So see, there's a big difference. Saddlebags sound very derogatory. If you say love handles, it sounds a little bit better, even though it doesn't make me feel better that I have them. But anyway, it's all good. So I'm trying to remember who this woman is when I'm looking in the mirror, right? Before life shook her up like a snow globe. And then I had this thought in my brain. And I had this thought and I told myself, what if the best version of me isn't the younger version? Wasn't the younger version, but the version I haven't even met yet. So what if the best version of me is somebody that is still evolving? Is me still making the best version of myself? I'm still evolving into that person, right? Because it's not like I have experience and then all of a sudden I'm done. No, the older you get, the better experience you get, the more your circle becomes, you become more picky with your circle. So I've told you about this, and I think I went over this on another podcast, where your circle sometimes becomes smaller, but it becomes better quality, the better quality of friends that you have. So you're like, I don't have all these friends now. I have these friends, but they're more quality friends and they're more meaningful, and they've stuck through you or with you throughout your whole life. So a whole spiritual moment I was having in the bathroom, right? Between thinking about who I am, all these experience lines I have and everything. I'm like, what is going on? And I asked this question, or ask this. If you ever look at yourself in the bathroom, say, have you ever looked at yourself and felt like you disappeared somewhere along the way? Like all of a sudden you're looking at yourself and say, where did I go? Like you're still you, but not the you that feels alive. Like, where are you? Like, is this your glow moment? Is this the best you're going to be? So you're thinking to yourself, is this the best my hair is going to be? Or is this the best my skin's going to be? Because all of a sudden I'm 54 years old and I'm like, my skin's only going to get more wrinkled. You know, I'm only going to get more wrinkled. I'm only going to age more. I may get more wisdom, but am I going to look as nice? That kind of thing. So you're questioning yourself as you're looking in the mirror. So that's the moment where midlife women glow up, right? They don't grow up. They're already there. So they glow up when they realize they want her, or you want her back. You want this to be your season. The version of yourself who felt excited, hopeful, creative, fearless. Remember, you felt like that when you were in your 20s and 30s? You were full of life, right? This is the version of yourself where you glow up, where you're more experienced, where you're happier, where you know how to make decisions and you know what to do and what not to do. And you felt like that also when you're in your 20s or 30s and you think, can I feel that way now? This is your glow up season, where you're even better than you were back then. You're not gone. You're just buried under somebody else's needs. So everyone else around you, you've been taken care of. And I've said this 1,000 times. This is your glow up season. So here are your 5 signs that you're ready for a midlife glow up. This is your time. Okay. Let me tell you something. You know you're ready for a glow up when your spirit starts tapping you on the shoulder and whispering, hey, we can't stay like this anymore. Like, you can't stay this way anymore. You've got to change. One sign is when things you used to tolerate start irritating you. Let that sink in for a moment. How many of you, and say, hell yes in the comments, how many of you feel like things that you used to be like, oh, it's okay, no big deal, all of a sudden you're like, ooh, that's bothering me. Like, stop tapping your leg like that. Or my husband snores at night. It used to not bother me. Now it wakes me up. And you're like, oh, these things, like I don't have the patience like I used to have, right? That's not attitude. That's alignment. You realizing, hey, and recognizing the fact that you're not accepting or understanding the things that bothered you now, they didn't bother you before. You're aligning yourself. And let me explain that a little bit more. Your soul is rejecting anything that no longer matches who you're becoming. Yes. And I love that. So your soul is recognizing things that don't feel comfortable anymore because you're becoming a different person and a better version of yourself. So you're not accepting of those other things. Another sign, you start craving peace more than approval. So you start craving the peace in your life more than approval. You stop caring what other people think and start caring how you feel walking into a room. So you start taking care of yourself and caring more about your feelings. Because if you become a better version of yourself, you're going to be better for everyone else around you. You know, we used to think, I have to take care of everybody else. I don't need to take care of myself. I'm good. If I take care of everybody else, I'll take care of myself. But now, if you take care of yourself and you really listen to that, you are going to be a better version of everything that you are to everyone else. You also begin wanting to clean your home, clean your schedule, clean your mind, not because you're bored, but because you're preparing space for your next chapter. Let me say that again. So all of a sudden, and you've always been wanting to clean your house, but now you want to clean your house in a certain way. Clean your schedule to make sure you have your goals set and ready to go. And you wake up in the morning and you make up your bed. Everything's ready to go, right? You clean your mind also. You want your mind to be crisp and clear and not cluttered. Not because you're bored, but because you're preparing space for the next chapter of your life. And you want everything to be what? Aligned. You start dreaming again, even if you don't tell anyone. You start imagining what life could look like in this version or this phase of your life. And the biggest sign of all, you start feeling uncomfortable staying the same. So you start feeling really, really uncomfortable if you stay the way that you've always been, because when you're evolving, things start feeling very, very uncomfortable and different for you. And that's the glow up tapping you on the shoulder like, hey, this is your time. It's time for you to level up. It's time for you to glow up. So tell me if this is you. Listen up. Tell me if this is you. You walk into a room and you forget why you're there. Many of us have, especially in midlife. Then you walk out, then remember, and then you forget again. You start talking. Your brain leaves the conversation and you hope nobody noticed. I had to have a conversation with Rick the other day and say, babe, look, you have to understand there's certain things, because he's like, why didn't you remember that? Why? She was like, and we were talking about something with Libby. So Libby the other day was having a hard time and she was like running outside or whatever. And she was shaking and panting because she's getting a lot of like anxiety, which is crazy, like separation anxiety for me. She was even mad at me last night, and I'll tell you about that. She was so mad at me, but Rick was like, remember she was panting or whatever last week? And I was like, no. And he was like, yes. So the next day I was like, babe, you really got to give me some grace, man. I'm letting you know how you get a little bit frustrated sometimes because I'm not remembering things? This is what I'm telling you about. I'm telling you about forgetfulness and things that happen with me. And he's like, oh, I'm like, sometimes I have to remind him. Sometimes we have to give our husbands or our significant other grace, right? And so anyway, BB last night had gone yesterday to be with my sister in her house for Christmas. And I got home, she wouldn't eat. She didn't want to kiss me. She's to the point where, because I spend so much time with her, it's crazy. Now she gets separation anxiety. So I give her what's called Rescue Remedy. It's called Rescue Remedy. You can get it on Amazon, but it's all an all natural, all herbal thing, and it's a couple of drops you put in. But she's literally like panting, and then she's profusely shaking. She knows I'm talking about. Y'all, these dogs are so smart. It's smart, scary smart, because they know exactly, right? You know what I'm talking about, you? Anyway. Okay, so you start talking, your brain leaves the conversation, and you hope nobody noticed, right? You hope nobody noticed that you were forgetting things. You look in the mirror and say, where did that come from? Where did that line come from? You lose your patience with someone chewing too loud, and then you cry in the bathroom because you feel guilty for telling them, hey, you were chewing too loud. You'll have done this, I don't know how many times this past month, where I'm like telling people how I feel, but then that night I'm like, why did I say that? That was kind of really harsh and rude. Like, why did I do that? And so I'm having trouble between, I'm defending myself because I'm becoming a new version of myself, but then I told them something and I'm not used to doing something because I'm a people pleaser. So if I tell somebody something and I'm honest, I'm also like feeling guilty because I told them something that I really meant. But then later on I'm crying because I'm like, should I have told them that? So you lose your patience with somebody chewing too loud. You want to nap, but you also want to start a business. So I'm like, I need a nap because I'm tired, but then I want to start a business, but I'm tired, right? And you want peace, but you also want excitement. So I want peace in my life, but then I want to be spontaneous. You want quiet, but then you also want attention. So let me be for a little bit, but you're not giving me enough attention. And Rick's like, I don't know, girl. I don't know. Welcome to Midlife. Welcome to Midlife Mamas group. You are right on schedule. And I love this because when I was talking last week to my friend Dina Bettis, and she's a midlife coach, and that podcast kind of ended up going awry. So we're going to end up doing it in the next week or two again. But the interesting thing is, and I thought if I could help even one person, and I actually helped a couple because they private messaged me and they were like, I've been going through all this. One of them was like, I've been going through hot flashes. I've been going through like pelvic pain and different things. And they were like, because I listened to your podcast, I realized this is actually normal. And I was like, oh, that just took my breath away. Because I was like, that's so amazing. That's all I wanted to do. If I can do this podcast and reach out to one person and make their life more normal, or for them to understand what they're going through, that means the world to me. And that's what this podcast is about. It's about you. So here's how to start your midlife glow up. So number one, you reintroduce yourself to yourself. Ask yourself, if I met me today for the first time, what would I admire about myself? You'd be shocked how much you overlook. So if you met yourself today as a midlife woman, what would you admire about yourself? Give yourself kudos. What would you say? You know, I admire Poppy. I admire you because you can go on this podcast and talk like there's no tomorrow, right? Number two is give yourself permission to change. It's okay to outgrow people, habits, hobbies, expectations, or whole chapters of your old life. It's okay. So you have to give yourself permission to change into this new phase of your life. Number three, add one thing each week that makes you feel alive. Not the kids, not the spouse, not the job, just you. Allow yourself one thing each week that makes you feel alive. Whether it's meditating, whether it's taking a bath once a week, whether it's going for a walk by yourself, whether it's starting a new exercise class. Give yourself that one time a week. Number four, let go of the superwoman costume. It's itchy, it's unrealistic, and it's from 1998, so hang it up. So you're not superwoman anymore for everybody else. Don't get me wrong. You're superwoman for yourself. Number five, use tools that make life easier. And yes, this is where I go over easypeasyprompts.com, because like I told you on my appetizers yesterday, it makes my life so much easier. So here's the easy peasy tip of the week. Do one thing this week that your younger self would applaud. I challenge you. Not admire. Applaud. Something that makes her say, that's my girl. So I challenge you. Do one thing this week that makes your younger self be proud of her older self. So here's the mind-blowing moment. Here's the thing that might blow your mind. And you've stayed this whole time. Kudos to you, because this is the aha moment, okay? Your glow up has nothing to do with something new, and everything to do with returning to the woman you were before the world dimmed your light. Let me say that again. Your glow up has nothing to do with becoming someone new, and everything to do with returning to the woman you were before the world dimmed your light. You're not starting over. You're coming home to the best version of yourself. So thank you for spending time with me on episode 11 of the Easy Peasy Life Podcast. If this episode sparked something in you, hope, courage, clarity, or even just a little spark of joy, please share it with another midlife woman who needs the same, who deserves her glow up reason too. Follow me, connect with me, and remember, you can get my free guide at easypeasyprompts.com. And if you want tools to make life easier and lighten the mental load, definitely go there and visit. Your midlife glow up isn't coming. It's already starting. So I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And y'all have the best Christmas ever. I love you so much. Let's go. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Easy Peasy Life Podcast. If today's episode encouraged you, make sure to follow and subscribe so you never miss one. Don't forget to grab your free guide at easypeasyprompts.com/busywomen's-guide. It's perfect for busy women who want life to feel easier. And join me live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you on the next episode. Let's go.